Opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. I'm Trevor Sikkema. That is Connor Rogers. On today's episode, we are redrafting the 2019 NFL Draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of players, some new destinations, some fan bases that we can create some beautiful fake realities for. But it's going to be a wonderful time over the next hour, 15 minutes, however long it takes us to record this podcast. Before we get to that, though, my friend, I have a little bit of a smile on my face.
You do?
Because thank my stars the Lightning somehow pulled out game 3 of this series, because if I had to log on to this podcast with the Rangers up 3-0, buddy, I would have told you have to intro it, and you basically got to make every pick. So I'm glad that I have a little bit of life here in a 2-1 series for my Bolts and your Rangers.
We certainly got ourselves a series. There's no doubt about that. And I'll say this. One, it was never going to be easy, I think, for either side. So for me to be, when you lose with 60 seconds left, under 60 seconds left, you're always crushed in the moment. Crushed. But then when you kind of collect yourself, you're like, you're not beating the back-to-back champs in 4 games. And on the Lightning side of it, too, I mean, everybody knows the Rangers have been playing everyone tough. And I was joking with you. We were texting. Everybody thinks that we're totally going at it right now. Meanwhile, we were texting. It was so funny during the game to watch me tweet anything positive about the Rangers, and the Bolts fans that I probably got from you as followers
right,
destroying me. One said I'm a June hockey fan. Meanwhile, I'm at the Garden like every other night during the fall whenever I don't have to work.
Didn't somebody call you Leopard Boy? Because you
somebody
have
called me Leopard Boy, and I was like, how is this even an insult? I choose to wear this. And then I go into your mentions, and it's people that follow you from me killing you. And I'm just like, this is how you know, bad game for the refs.
Dude.
Ref show broke out, terrible calls on both sides. It was a type of hockey game that could have been a lot more fun, but it felt like it was being stopped every 3 minutes for phantom calls, and everyone's mad. Lightning fans are furious. Rangers fans are furious. And here we go. The Rangers are up 2-1 as you and I record this, and buddy, we are in for a long one.
Dude, this is such a fun series too. And obviously, guys, we'll get into the question of the day. We'll get into the football talk, but no, this series is a lot of fun for us. I know a lot of people who have listened to this podcast have waited for the emotion, and I think at the beginning of the pod, I'm pretty sure when we last recorded, it was last Wednesday, so we didn't even have a game played yet.
Nothing.
So this is like the first reaction that people have to us, and dude, Shesterkin's unbelievable. Like, him and Vasilevsky, I tweeted this out during the game. These are the best 2 goalies in the world. These are the best 2 goalies in the world right now going at it. The Rangers, and the speed, the aggression, everything's unbelievable. This team can absolutely win a cup. I hope they don't, personally. But, I mean, like, they've got the talent to do it, man. And this, I was hoping, it's funny. Like, obviously, I want my team to win. That's why I don't want them to go down and lose on series.
Sure.
But I wanted them to especially win game 3 because I just like watching good hockey. And like when the Lightning were playing well, when the Rangers are playing well, like this bad boy could go 6 or 7 games, and it's going to be good ass hockey from here on out. And that's what I'm excited about. It's fun. Obviously, it's fun that I get to have a little bit of a friendly rivalry with you while it's going on. But as long as the refs stay the F out of the way.
They're not, but
we're going to have a good series. We're going to have
it's awesome. It's like watching a different sport when you watch the Western Conference Final, where there is no goaltending, there's no defense. The skill from the forwards, obviously McKinnon and McDavid, and really it's deeper than that, is unbelievable. But it's like watching a different sport, and then you watch the Lightning and the Rangers really grind it out, where as much as we sit here through 3 games, not as much as we sit here and record Sunday, but overall, I feel like the Rangers have controlled the series. It goes to show you how it shows you how experienced and how good the Lightning are in this moment, that they almost tied it in game 2 at the end. One bounce away, really. And they came back and won in game 3. It just feels like it's gonna be really, really long. And ironically, you and I are gonna be traveling when the series starts to reach its peak towards the end, where I'm gonna be up in Montreal. You're gonna be ironically in New York. Then I get back from Montreal while you're still in New York. We're getting together, and it would be the night before. We are getting dinner before there would be a game 7. So
if we were both in New York for game 7, we might have had to live stream it. We might have had to live stream the whole thing. That would have been great content. But look, we're being too positive. I hate you. I hate your team. I hope you guys lose.
No, I despise you.
I've never liked you.
The only player on the Lightning I don't like
actually.
is Pat Maroon. I like everyone else is unbelievable.
I saw your tweet that like he turns into a fish when Ryan Reeves comes around.
Like kills everyone else. No problem. No problem. And then I love like all the people that I follow that hate the Rangers, which is mostly everybody in the universe, by the way. Devils fans, and I don't hate you. I understand you hate the Rangers. It's okay. I totally get it. They're like, I saw so many people the other night tweet, well, Reeves better be careful. Maroon's a big guy. They fought this year. I'm like, just so you know, nobody watches regular season hockey.
Maroon is this is where people this is where people get it mixed up. Maroon is just an instigator, man.
Oh yeah,
he's just an instigator. Like I don't even think, obviously, like he has fought before and he's been in plenty of fights, but like at this point, I don't even think he wants to fight. He just wants to instigate.
Yeah, he gets to get under your skin and cause problems, and that's
he's one of those,
got to know your role.
He's one of those players. Every good team's got him. When he's on your team,
you love him. You love him.
If he's literally anywhere else, hate the dude. So
I love Jacob Trouba. When Trouba train, rolls, and now he had a bad day. But usually when the Trouba train rolls into town and takes another victim, everybody's like, shout out to Pittsburgh media right now, who they're still thinking about him. I see a tweet every other week. But I get if he wasn't on my team, I'd hate the guy. So
hockey's too much fun, man.
It's hockey.
No matter who wins, whether it's the Lightning or the Rangers, we can only hope that Colorado sweeps this next series and has what happened to the Lightning, where they've just got like a week and a half off and then they don't care because that team looks like a goddamn locomotive.
Oh, they're a wagon. They are, man. I went when they came into town against the Rangers and they whooped them. They whooped them. So
this Stanley Cup final, no matter what it is, if it's New York or whether it's Tampa going up against Colorado, it's gonna be fun as hell. But we got a lot of games, we got a lot of animosity, and we've got a lot of tweets that apparently are gonna piss people off before we get to that point.
It's all in good fun. I want everybody to remember that. If you're listening and you tweeted at Trevor and I very in anger, there's no hard feelings. Even if I tweet back at you, it's Twitter.
No hard feelings.
What did KD said? KD has some great thoughts on Twitter. There's one famous KD meme that basically says, "Oh, you're being emotional online."
Oh, yes.
Can't be emotional online.
Yes.
So
you can't.
All right.
You can't get emotional online. Hey, before we get to the question of the day, and it's a two-parter, so we got two people involved in this.
Buckle up.
Got to let people know that Sweaty Sack Summer is approaching.
It's back.
And it's time for you to prioritize the comfort of your crotch, folks. That's why the kings of crotch comfort, Manscaped, has spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. These boxers, softest fabric of any underwear. It's so breathable. It's like gills for your groin, okay? They even trademarked the phrase jewel pouch. It's literally trademarked in the copy right here. They have the trademark symbol. That's how you know it's serious. I think it's time that you invest in your family jewels, so let the bulge breathe a little bit. Get 20% off and free shipping using the promo code PFF at manscaped.com. Dads, you can buy it for yourself. Sons, you can buy it for you or your dad. Father's Day is coming up. I don't know if that's weird for you, but you could make it a Father's Day gift, and that's fine with me. Dad probably love it, honestly. Ladies, you can buy it for your man too, and dog dads, y'all deserve some love as well. 20% off and free shipping with the promo code PFF at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping, PFF, manscaped.com. Once you buy the Boxer 2.0 and you let them touch your sack, you are never going to go back. The two-parter.
What do you got?
This is a question of the day that has stood the test of time. I think this is an oldie, but we have not discussed this on the podcast yet. First one, this is from Andrew, who I believe is a sex addict.
He's an addict, yeah.
Is cereal soup? Connor?
No, absolutely not. No. Number one, and I don't know if this is a hot take, soup has to be hot. It's not soup if it's not hot. I don't know if that's a hot take. There's some people that are going to have some kind of, well, actually, to me. And I respect that.
What about gazpacho?
Not soup. It's its own thing.
What is it?
Category.
What do you mean? What is
gazpacho. It's gazpacho. It's not soup.
It's a soup. All right, now I got to Google. Is gazpacho soup?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but if so, then we get real complicated right here.
That comes up right away when you just type is G-A-Z.
Well, there's not many other.
That's a good point. So it does say it's a classic cold Spanish soup. Cold I think I just got owned by Google. Either way, cereal's not a soup. It's not, because there's plenty of people that eat dry cereal, first off. But cereal with milk is not a soup. It's not. Cereal with milk. No way. You're not actually considering that this is a soup. There's no way.
Listen, dude, look. I'm a simple man, okay? I got to believe in the science. I can believe in what I see here. Cereal might be a soup.
Oh, stop
it might be a soup, brother. It's got the liquid element. It's got the solid element. You could eat it whenever you can eat it in the morning. You can eat it at night. Shoot, you could even eat it for lunch. I've seen Alyssa eat it for lunch. I've seen her eat it for lunch. At that point, it's soup.
No. Okay, so for the crazy people that dip Swedish fish in Coke, is that a soup?
Wait, what?
Is that a soup?
Oh, wait. People
do this. This is a thing. People dip gummy-related candies in soda.
Set the table for me. Are they pouring
soda
into a bowl and then pouring Swedish fish and then eating it with a spoon? Because if so, then I'll take back every word I just said. So those heathens can't even have a footing to stand on.
No, I don't know. If they do, that's really next level. But I just think we're really crossing into the territory. We're crossing into a bad territory if we call cereal a soup.
Listen, every day we stray further from God's light, and
we're gone.
Today's
we're long gone.
One of those days.
Wait, so what was the two-parter of this disaster?
Pat asked this one. Pat asked to follow up. Big shout out to Pat.
Big shout out to Pat.
How do you eat your cereal? Meaning, does the liquid go first and then the cereal, or does the cereal go first and then the liquid?
It has to be the cereal, because depending on how hungry you are is how big of a bowl you pour. And then the milk balances with the cereal. It doesn't go the other way. You don't go, well, I'm really, really hungry. Let me fill a gallon bowl with milk and then top it off with cereal. That one that's even more defined than the soup one. There's no way. And also, isn't it splash? Like, if you fill a bowl with milk and then you dump your cereal in. Now, I'm a little barbaric in the kitchen. I'll be a little honest here. I'm not exactly the smoothest.
Hey, you gotta get your hands dirty sometimes.
I'm not the smoothest guy when it comes to eating and preparing. And boy, do I hear about it. But I mean, right? Imagine pouring all that cereal and your milk splashing up.
I can't imagine it, because if you pour the milk first, you need to put yourself under citizen's arrest. I don't know. It is your civic duty to arrest yourself. You have to go to prison. That's the only solution I have here. If you put the milk first before the cereal, it's heathen tendencies, and we need you off the streets. We really do. That's the only thing I have to say about that.
There's some things in life that I'm fully convinced are a bit, like the internet really runs with them. Like, I'm not actually convinced anybody really believes the Earth is flat. I think they really have everybody, like, hoodwinked or, like, tricked, where they're like, oh, I really got them here, and they're clowning me. Milk before the cereal is one of those things.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's a bad one.
What's your favorite cereal, by the way? Do you have a favorite cereal?
Ooh, that's...
Are you a big cereal? Are you a big cereal eater?
When I was a kid and in college, I was. Not anymore. I never have cereal anymore.
I don't really either.
Cereal's awesome. The best cereal of all time is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Very chalky answer.
I accept it. It's one of the acceptable ones. Mine is peanut butter Captain Crunch, but
good one, very good one. Peanut butter cups.
Oh, really, Reese's. Really good. So here's the thing.
One of the goats.
So when you say you ate cereal growing up, did you eat it like in the morning, like a normal person? Like
I did.
School,
yeah.
Stuff like that?
I wasn't really like allowed to have cereal like at like dinner or lunch as a young kid.
Dude, I wasn't allowed to have cereal like at all.
Yeah, but then when it got to a point where it was like revealed that it was like, hey, this is really just sugar in a bowl, my mom was definitely like, yeah, we're gonna go with like eggs or toast.
That's what happened in my house.
Yeah, so I feel you. I mean, you and I are pretty much the same age, where like we definitely went through the same stages of like, there's probably younger kids listening to the show that are like, oh yeah, duh, and there's probably older guys listening to the show that are like, oh yeah, no, cereal was like full throttle growing up. The thing was, it was easy.
Right, right.
Like
you could sleep in a little bit later.
Yeah.
And you could just eat some cereal and then pop off to school. But my mom never made it that simple. Instead, she was like, no, you can't have cereal unless it's a dessert because it's all sugar and you can have it like after dinner. So that's the only time I could ever have cereal. And what I would have to do for breakfast is like we wouldn't have enough time. Like I'd have to wake up super early to make an actual breakfast, like eggs and bacon and toast or whatever. And so I was like, okay, like I don't want to do that. I want to sleep in later. And so like I try those breakfast Hot Pockets, which I don't know how I'm alive after eating breakfast Hot Pockets. They're horrible. They're like the worst things ever. Like the cheese and eggs and ham one sounds great in theory. Does not come out the way that you want to.
No, it does not look like the box. I'll say that.
No, it doesn't look like the box. Trust me. Your boy was sitting in second period in class just or whatever it would have been called when I was in like third grade, and I was just like the stomach was screaming. Don't do that.
Dude, for the longest time I didn't eat breakfast. Like when I was really young,
intermittent fasting? You're saying you were on the cutting edge?
Not intentionally, before that was even known. Like when I was really young, obviously your parents make you eat breakfast before you go to school. But I think when I got to like probably like high school-ish age or definitely college, when you really just do whatever the hell you want, I'd be like, I don't have time for this. I'll have like half a banana. But I'm just like, I'm not really that hungry. Now as an adult, I eat breakfast every day.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it.
And we're in the work from home life, so it's like, okay, I'm not in a rush. Like when I was in the New York hustle and bustle, when I moved down here, and it's like, yeah, I've been up since 1, and I got to be back at work by 8, and that's not counting commutes or anything. It was like slap on, like shower, clothes, brush your teeth, and get out the door and eat at the office. But now that we're in the work from home life, it's like, I can make myself pancakes. Like it's different world we're living in.
Wait,
it really is.
Hold on. Now I want to know because I don't know the answer to this. When you moved closer to the city, were you working a job that wasn't sports, or was BR?
No, it was BR. So,
okay.
Yeah, it was. Always
I was wondering
BR.
if you were like a Wall Street guy, like if you were just like
close.
Straight Wall Street.
Not that bad. I could have gone down that road. When I was interviewing out of college, I had 2 job offers that were related to my degree, which was business, nice. Sales, marketing, all that. You know, wearing a suit and tie and talking the talk.
Of course.
Or the BR job as a research assistant, and those 2 were for a lot more money than the sports job, but I was like, all right, time to be poor and have fun rather than be normal and not have any fun. So I'm really happy that road I chose, but it was close. It was a good question. I was real close.
I'm certainly glad that you made that decision as well.
I would not be sitting here, that's for sure.
Now we get to do this podcast together. All right, well, let's get to it. Let's get to the redrafting of the 2019 NFL draft. This was a stacked draft, guys. There's so much talent here for this draft. It's going to be a lot of fun to look by. What we're going to do is we're going to use the same order as 2019, and of course, you have to use hindsight, right? Like hindsight is what makes this exercise fun. You get to see how good players were. That's the point of redrafting them. But you also kind of want to put yourself in the shoes of the teams that were drafting him at the time they were drafting him. So we're not going to go too deep in the butterfly effect. Like, oh, if they would have drafted this guy, then they wouldn't have been drafting as high for the next couple of drafts.
Yes.
It's not going to get, it's not that deep.
Just go back in time.
It's a little bit of hindsight, right? But it's not that deep. Before we dig into it, though, got to tell people that the NFL Stock Exchange Pod is brought to you by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save your money. You can send or request money from your friends when they owe you for dinner, drinks, literally anything. Because besides just sending money back and forth with Cash App, you can invest in stocks with as little as $1, as well as buy, sell, and send Bitcoin as well instantly. Cash App also lets you design your own debit card completely free. Spend money wherever you would like. Cash App will laser print a card and mail it straight to you all for free. And the card comes with free discounts to your favorite places called Boosts. So it's a great way to save money on the places they shop at the most. Sign up for Cash App. Use the referral code TOUCHDOWN, all caps, one word, TOUCHDOWN, which gives new users $15 when they sign up. This promo code TOUCHDOWN. Get yourself $15 free with Cash App. All right, let's get it going. 2019 NFL redraft. So the order that we have it right here is the order after draft night, after night 1 of the 2019 NFL draft. So we have like the Giants trade, the Cleveland trade with them, the Pittsburgh trade moving up for Devin Bush. Like all of that is there. The Rams trade back at the Falcons trading up at the back end of the first round. There were a handful of trades that happened, and those trades are in there. So for the teams that didn't pick in the first round, at the end, maybe we'll give you a shout out and we'll talk about some players that didn't get taken. Maybe we could be like, all right, well, this guy maybe they should have lasted to him. They could have picked them at this point. So we'll try to give as love to as many teams as we can, but we felt like it was the least amount of complication on everything if we just kept the trades in there. So that's what we're doing. So Giants fans, you got 3 picks, I think. Number 1, it's Arizona Cardinals. So we'll go back and forth. We'll have a little fun going back and forth. It's not necessarily a dueling draft, so we'll collaborate a little bit if one of us drops the ball entirely and the other one catches it. But I'll start. I'll go number 1. It's the Arizona Cardinals. The original pick was Kyler Murray. We're going to tell you all the original picks as well. It still has to be Kyler Murray. Like even at the time when it was a little bit crazy because they had just picked Josh Rosen the year before, if we're using the hindsight of Kyler Murray, we have to be able to use the hindsight of Josh Rosen, and Josh Rosen was not going to work out for the Arizona Cardinals. And so even though it's a little bit shock, it's not major shock value, even though Nick Bosa looks like he could be one of the best pass rushers in the league for many, many, many years. Kyler has played really well at times. Him and Cliff, I feel like, are perfect. It's still got to be Kyler at number 1. So Kyler original, it's still going to be him going number 1 to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, no argument for me, and no argument for number 2. It's the same situation. It's Nick Bosa. I mean, Nick Bosa
has to be.
Yeah, Nick Bosa's been a star. This was the right pick. Obviously, Nick Bosa's impact has been the rare case of, instantly. The instant kind of impact. If Nick Bosa doesn't miss the season in between the 2 really good ones, obviously his rookie year, he was tremendous. He was so good his rookie year. And then 2021, he was unbelievable. 2020, he basically missed the whole season. And he's still, 24 years old. So when you look at it with Nick Bosa, this was a great pick. He's an awesome player. The first and second overall pick were the right choice for those teams.
Yeah, I think so too. So New York Jets are now up at number 3. They took Quinnen Williams. I think Quinnen's been fine. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that it would be unfair to say that Quinnen was totally a bust because it feels like the defensive line around him and the defense around him in general just hasn't been as good as it's needed to be. He's been fine. Hasn't been the otherworldly Alabama Quinnen Williams that we saw, but there's still reason to believe that could show up at some point, hopefully some point soon. I'd probably change this one though.
And definitely.
When I look at number 3, a lot of talented players in this draft class. I think I'd go with A.J. Brown.
Okay.
The wide receiver, because when I look at the Jets now, and I looked at them this past offseason, and shoot, it looked like they were trying to be interested in A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel and Tyreek Hill. And I feel like they have been searching for that dominant wide receiver for a while now. They spent the big money on Corey Davis. Obviously, they drafted Elijah Moore, and he's been fantastic as well. But if you fast forward a little bit, and you change this to where A.J. Brown is on this team, that makes the offense look even better than the additions they've been able to make over the last couple of years, especially with Zach Wilson being their quarterback. So I would go A.J. Brown. What do you think?
No argument for me. I would be happy with A.J. Brown. I'd be happy with DK Metcalf.
Yeah, because he's here too.
I would take both of those guys over Deebo Samuel, and some people might think that's crazy. I just like the longevity of their production. More. And I think Deebo's an amazing player. I would have no problem with that pick. The only other one that I would have made is Max Crosby. The Jets have had edge. But now, obviously, this is a fun exercise. Like, nobody in a million years was taking Max Crosby in the first 2 rounds of that draft. It's, Max obviously was somebody that was a small school player. He had really good tape for East Michigan, but he, there was a lot of reasons that, he fell to the point he did, and he turned not his career around, his life around, and has been a superstar for the Raiders. So I can make an argument for any of those guys. I like your A.J. Brown pick for the Jets, and, Quinnen's a good player. He's not a great player. And when you're trying to you're taking somebody 3rd overall, you're trying to get a great player.
Man, there's so many players in this draft to choose from, even just, and we'll mention a lot of them. You said Deebo Samuel's in this class as well. Terry McLaurin is in this class.
That's right.
Deontay Johnson's in this class. Hunter Renfro's in this class if we're going to get to him later in the first round, right? So all those guys at wide receiver, the pass rushers, we got Max Crosby. We've got Brian Burns. We've got Montez Sweat. I'm just scrolling it here. Was this the Rashawn Gary draft as well?
I think it was
Josh Allen's also pass rusher. Josh Allen's also in this one.
I mean, there's good defensive line play. Like we said, Quinnen's good. Jeffrey Simmons is really good. Dexter Lawrence is really good. there's a lot of talent early on here.
Yep. So I'll go AJ Brown. I wanted to go AJ Brown there because I think
that.
that would be great if you fast forward a little bit and give Zach Wilson AJ Brown. I think it's a lot of fun.
All right, so the Raiders here on the clock now.
Yikes!
They took Clelin Ferrell from Clemson, and we know how. Like we said it with like Kyler and Bosa; those were like really good picks. We said it with the Jets. Like Quinn Williams is not a great player, but he's a good player. Like it's and he's an ascending player. This was a really bad pick, and the Raiders would love to be in our spot right now, getting a redo. Now it's kind of fascinating. I'm not going to take Max Crosby here because that's no fun for the Raiders fans.
You could though.
Now,
I mean, they're not going to get him if you do.
Great for the Raiders that they got Max Crosby at 106 because that kind of makes up for missing on Clelin Ferrell here. So that did work out. I'm going to take DK Metcalf in this spot. I'm going to get them a big vertical wide receiver that's been a star. He has more receiving yards than both A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel in these first 3 years. He has more touchdowns than both of them. He's an incredible player, and he's really young. So for the Raiders right here, I know they have Devontae Adams now. But just going back in time, getting in the time machine, this pick could have easily been DK Metcalf.
I'm reading this because this report about kind of how the Clelin Ferrell pick came up. Peter King had reported this on Football Morning in America in his column that the Raiders always wanted Clelin Ferrell as their pick, but they really wanted to trade down. Like they really wanted to in that 2019 draft. They wanted to get out of number 4, but they wanted to end up with Ferrell no matter what. So King said in his column that they were willing to drop down no lower than pick number 13, but 13 is like far from 4. 13 is pretty damn far.
Different tier player.
He said they believe that Ferrell wasn't as high on other draft boards. Okay, maybe there's a reason why, guys. And so the quote that they have there is that the phone never rang at number 4. Mayock and Gruden wanted to trade down, but they never got a call, which is crazy to think with how talented this draft class ended up being. That nobody wanted to move up to number 4?
It is. So I'll tell you what screwed them. Here's a little throwback story for you. Throwback in time. I don't know if I've ever told this story on a pod, but I could tell you confidently right now. The Bills really wanted to move up with the Jets at number 3. The Bills really wanted Ed Oliver. I mean, they took Ed Oliver. They really wanted Quinnen Williams. So when the Jets took Quinnen Williams, the Bills didn't want to move up anymore. And I believe the Bills picked 9th this year. So yes, they did. The Bills picked 9th overall in this draft, and they took Ed Oliver. They still took the defensive line. But what I was told was at the time, it's always fun to tell these stories after. Like, I'm not a reporter, right? So like at the time, I'm not like, oh, Bills tried to do this, so yada. But like now that we're on the pod years later, I think the Bills offered the Jets a division rival at the time, and the Bills are in like a different stratosphere than the Jets right now, where it'd be easier to do this now. But at the time, the Jets were trying to keep pace with the Bills, with the 2 young quarterbacks they had, and we know how that went. I believe the Bills offered the Jets a 2 and a 3 to swap first, and the Jets were like, what a division rival, like we're not doing that. So they didn't. But ultimately, when Quinnen went off the board at 3, the Raiders, the only team that would have moved up to 4, the player they wanted was gone. Little throwback story for you.
We love an exclusivity story here on the podcast. That's great. I love the background information. I love knowing that stuff.
Yeah, it's a fun one. When we do these redrafts, I'll always try to throw a couple of these in here. The trades that could have been and never happened.
Dude, that's the trades that never happen, man, are the stories that I will always be fascinated by. For however long I'm in this business, covering this sport, even when I'm out of it, man, those are the stories I'll always be chasing, that information of like we had this, like these 2 GMs, drunkenly had this conversation at the combine, and it almost happened, and then like it didn't. So
it didn't. And it could change the course of history, or it could have meant absolutely nothing.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 5. They took Devin White. Look, This is so tricky, and it really is, because I didn't think that Devin White was worth the number 5 overall pick when he was picked there at the time. I still think that it's rich to pick an off-ball linebacker, especially for a lot of the heavy lifting and coverage that Levante David does. But Tampa doesn't win that Super Bowl without Devin White, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
it's
That's a good
just
point.
like, it's so strange. And I don't think I'm going to take Devin White here. I'm trying to find their depth chart before the season because Jason Pierre-Paul got in his accident when was that? Okay, so that was in May. But when was that in May?
It had to be after the draft.
It had to be after the draft.
Otherwise, this pick would have been Josh Allen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, Josh Allen, there's so many good pass rushers here. I'm picking a pass rusher. Ooh. No, I got to pick a pass rusher, right?
If I was making this pick, I would take Max Crosby.
I'm thinking about Max Crosby, Rashawn Gary, Josh Allen, Brian Burns. Like they're all in the conversation here. Where is the depth chart? I'm trying to find it right before the draft because I don't want to cheat this too much. Archive data.
No,
okay,
I think you're on it.
Our lads has it. Okay, let's go April 1st. Let's see what this bad boy was April 1st. Jason Pierre-Paul's not here. Why isn't he here? I'm so confused. Oh, wait, never mind. No, he's here. And they got Jerry McCoy. They got Vita Vea. All right, Max Crosby. Let's just go Max Crosby. I think that's probably the best way to do it because they've got Vita Vea. They have Jerry McCoy. I'm not picking a corner this side because the corner wasn't worth it. They have Shaq Barrett, but that was before he absolutely went off.
Yeah, he went berserk.
Yeah.
After being like a rotational player.
We're gonna go Max Crosby here. Max Crosby fits a lot of what they like too because they would be more of a hand in the dirt kind of 4-3 team. And like Josh Allen can do a lot of stuff from a stand up. Rashawn Gary's the same way. I think he's a really good stand up rusher. Max Crosby, he can't certainly do 3-point and 2-point stance stuff, but I think he really thrives when he's got his hand in the dirt. So I'll go Max Crosby at number 5. Led the NFL in pressures this past year. Absolutely worth this in a redraft format. So we'll go Crosby at 5 to the Bucks.
I like it a lot. That would have been my pick for the Giants here.
I was trying to get cheeky. I was trying, folks.
I like it.
Cheeky with it. Couldn't do it.
So the Giants took Daniel Jones at 6. Everybody knows I hated this pick at the time, and I don't think Daniel Jones has been terrible. He's not the answer in my eyes. I don't think he'll ever be the answer. My problem with this pick, almost more than Daniel Jones, was that I don't think any team was taking him in this stratosphere in the top 10. But it is what it is. So I'm obviously changing this pick. I understand the Giants were looking for their franchise quarterback of the future after Eli. I just didn't think they had to do it here in this spot this early. Now, this for me, you're just taking talent because it's a top 10 pick. We had Brown and Metcalf go. Trevor, I think this has to be Deebo Samuel. I think that and you look at what the Giants have done years later, it tells you that they want a playmaker that could do a lot of different things. They drafted Kadarius Toney in the first round. They just took Wan'Dale Robinson. They spent huge money on Kenny Golladay, and he did not have the season they were hoping for. I like Darius Slayton, right, for what he is. But the Giants haven't had that electric playmaker at wide receiver, and we know Saquon Barkley has been hurt at running back, but at wide receiver specifically, this for me should be Deebo. Just somebody that can change the game and maybe I don't want to say extend Eli Manning's career. I think that's unfair to say, but make life easier on any quarterback they have back there.
Right. I would agree. I would totally agree with you there. No, I don't hate it. I don't hate this one. I'm looking at the Jags, and they're up at number 7 now.
Would Deebo have been the pick, like the no-brainer?
I mean, I would have picked any of A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel.
Scary Terry?
Terry McLaurin is still here, but would I pick Terry McLaurin over the pass rushers? Oh, maybe I need to, because I'm looking at the 2019 depth chart, April 1st, before the draft for the Jags. It's D.D. Westbrook and Marquise Lee. They have DJ Chark, but that sucks. There's just no way around it. That sucks. And on their defensive side, they've got Yannick Ngakoue. They have Calais Campbell. They still have Marcel Darius. They've got Miles Jack.
Well, they had a lot of problems.
They still have Jalen Ramsey at this point.
That is interesting.
I think I'm going to go Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what I would have done. The only other player I think I could justify there is Elton Jenkins.
No, but not at 7 over the pass rush. Like, they took Josh Allen, who, like, Josh Allen is good. And I'm sitting over here thinking, okay, well, am I going to take Josh Allen again? Well, Brian Burns is still here. Again, like, Rashawn Gary is here. Like, I could take any of those 3 players, and I think that they would be great picks at number 7 overall. But my God, they have no playmakers. And Terry McLaurin's unbelievable. So I think I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin here. As crazy as that might be, wide receiver over the pass.
I don't think it's that nuts. And then you kind of look at the trickle effect. What is it, the butterfly effect? Like the whole they went out and just went bonkers at wide receiver this offseason, spending money anywhere they could. So it caught up to them where this was a long-term problem. All right. So
Cardinals on the clock again? No.
This is the Lions.
This is the Lions.
It's the Lions. The Lions are picking 8th. They took TJ Hawkinson here. TJ Hawkinson is one of the players from this draft that has made a Pro Bowl so far. An interesting little note there. This was not a bad pick. Maybe a little rich for a team that just has had a lot of roster issues over the years. This was definitely the case of falling in love with the player. At the time, they still had needs at corner, pass rusher. We know they had needs at tight end, obviously. I think I have to dip into the pass rush well here, right? Like, how could you not? Because it's good. It's a really good group.
It's such a good class, man.
Yeah,
all these guys are so talented.
I would take Brian Burns here. I love Brian Burns. I think he's a really impactful player. Once again, I don't think the Lions made a mistake taking Hawkinson. It's just that if you can improve on the pick a little bit, I think pass rusher would be more impactful for this team.
Ooh, Buffalo. All right, they took Ed Oliver at number 9.
Not going to be a repeat pick.
It's not going to be a repeat pick, especially when Jeffrey Simmons was in this class.
Yes.
Their top needs, defensive tackle still. They needed to hit pass rush. Offensive line was also an issue. Wide receiver at the time for the Buffalo Bills was John Brown, Zay Jones, Cole Beasley. Dude, it is so funny to look at these depth charts 3 years ago.
I know.
And how, I don't want to say teams didn't emphasize wide receiver, but how much it feels like every team in the NFL looks like an arms race now after these last 3 drafts and these 3 wide receiver groups going to so many different teams and fill these wide receiver groups out. Because I look at this and I go, shoot, I wish one of the wide receivers was here. Like, I wish you could put Terry McLaurin here as well. Terry McLaurin on the other side of some Josh Allen passes while he gets better. That's pretty incredible. I think I'm going to go. I was just about to say, I think I'm going to go Jeffrey Simmons, but actually, I think I'm going to go Rashawn Gary.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go Gary here because I'm looking at their depth chart. At the time, they had Starlo Tulele. They had Harrison Phillips. And then they had Trent Murphy, Jerry Hughes. They had Shaq Lawson as well, but man, I think I'm going Rashawn Gary. No, come on, Trevor. No. I can't
take Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons is like a top 5 interior defensive lineman in the NFL. I'm overthinking too much. Thank you for being here and stopping me from me.
You stopped yourself. I really wanted to. And I just didn't have the heart until it was like code red. Like when you started to write it in the doc, I was going to say something.
I was getting too cute with the depth chart. I'm getting too cute with the depth chart. You got to pick the good players.
You were sweaty sack deep in our lads.
I was. That's what I was. I need some Manscaped out here to help me out.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 10. They traded up to this pick to take Devin Bush. They traded with the Broncos. Safe to say that move has not worked out for the Steelers. Devin Bush has had his ups and downs. I think more downs, unfortunately, than ups. A player I liked. And this is always an aggressive move when you go into the top 10 to get an off-ball linebacker. So, like we said at the top of the show, we're going to keep the picks, the trades where they were. But when we feel it's applicable or necessary, we will change the picks. So the Steelers here. At the time, I got to go take a look here. They had needs at receiver, obviously off-ball linebacker. They made the big move. Defensive back. This was the draft that AB was gone, right, from the Steelers. So that's how it kind of opened up that they needed somebody with Juju. But the 4 wide receivers went so early for us.
They picked Deontay in this draft.
Oh, and Deontay's been great.
They picked Deontay.
Now I am operating that they don't have him yet. But
right.
But still, you're right. And they've drafted wide receiver so well, so late. that I am going to kind of even stick to their philosophy here. Now, this is tough. I'm going to make a little bit of a surprise pick here, I think. And I'm going to take Elgton Jenkins because...
Shoot! I was looking at him for the next pick.
Yeah, okay, so this isn't a surprise then.
No,
the Steelers' offensive line has slowly deteriorated over the years, and Jenkins can play pretty much any position, and that would help the Steelers so much for a line that's been either beat up or declining. So yeah, he's an incredible player. Packers fans listening to the show know that. I don't have to tell them that, but for people that aren't in the weeds on young O-line play around the league, he's incredible. So for he needed to be in the top 10 of our redraft, and good spot. Steelers need it.
No,
so,
Elgton Jenkins is fantastic. The versatility and how well he's been able to play at so many different spots, man. It can't be understated how well he has helped piece together that Green Bay offensive line over the last couple of years. And now he's, finding some home positions, and I think that he's great. He is great. He would have been top 20 for sure in this redraft. I would have told you going in, but him going number 10, I don't really hate it. I would have thought about him at number 11 here for the Cincinnati Bengals. They took Jonah Williams, who I still think can be a good offensive tackle in the NFL, no doubt about it. Offensive line was a big need of theirs, so Jonah Williams could still be on the table, but linebacker was also a need. And when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals depth chart before the draft,
we're going down this road again.
It was look, I have to do it. It was dude. It was Preston Brown, Jordan Evans, Chris Worley,
guys that you just don't really know.
Hardy Nickerson Jr.
Oh my goodness.
Nick Vigil. That's the
special
linebacker
teams
group.
Players.
They're special teams players, man. They've got Carlos Dunlap. They have Sam Hubbard. They have Jordan Willis. I know Josh Allen's still there. I know Rashawn Gary's still there. But I'm making this pick Devin White. I think that I forgot he was there. I think that they would want this pick to be Devin White. And for as much as off-ball linebacker and the value of it, and especially with how limiting White can be in coverage, the spark plug that he is for you when he's on the blitz, how he can go sideline to sideline. He's a true heart and soul leader in the middle of that defense. That stuff definitely matters. And I think the Bengals would gravitate towards that. So if they weren't going offensive lineman, which I probably would have had them taking Elgton Jenkins if you didn't just take him right before,
Snipey.
I'll have going Devin White. I'll go Devin White at 11. Damn,
Okay.
we're not even drafting against each other, and you're out here sniping me.
Just being a total scumbag. All right, Devin White goes to the Bengals at 11. Trevor opens his mentions for Bengals fans that love when he mocks them any kind of off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, right. I totally forgot that. That's great.
Yeah, lovely. Truly lovely. They can gather up with the Rangers fans angry at you, the Bolts fans angry at me, and they could all have a party of fury. The Packers at 12 here. They took Rashawn Gary. Am I crazy if I just repeat this pick? Let me check the board one more time.
Josh Allen's here.
Josh Allen is here.
So basically, would you pick Josh Allen or Rashawn Gary?
Tricky. I never want, and let me be transparent. I did not like the Rashawn Gary pick at the time.
I thought it was reach.
I thought it was a reach. That was my biggest and to be fair, it really did take a while for him to hit his stride, but he did. He really did.
Yep. I mean, this past year, he had an elite PFF pass rush grade.
He was very good this year.
Awesome this past year. He really was.
I will argue that if you put Josh Allen in Green Bay, he'd be the better player. Josh Allen has been playing with nobody.
Make it happen.
In Jacksonville. So I'm going to make this simple and go with Josh Allen. Don't think Rashawn Gary ended up being a bad pick. Taking Josh Allen.
Okay.
Dolphins on the clock for you, my friend.
Dolphins on the clock. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, see the team needs at the time. Quarterback. Okay, it's not really a quarterback option. I'm not picking Daniel Jones. Who else was in this kind? What was the quarterbacks?
Not good.
No. It was bad. No question about it. But I can't remember the order. Kyler, Daniel Jones. Dwayne Haskins. Drew Lock, Will Grier, Ryan Finley, Jarrett Stidham. Gardner Minshew, 6th round, baby.
Gardner.
All right. Okay. So probably not taking another quarterback in this first round.
No, I don't think that's happening.
Miami went with Christian Wilkins here at 13.
He's been good.
Line pass rusher. Where's Miami? Were they desperate? Because if so, then this will be a Rashawn Gary fit.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have Dexter Lawrence and Ed Oliver still on the board. And Dexter Lawrence, fantastic nose for anybody that might have needed some space at the middle, which, man, I think that Miami could have used him.
Yep.
No, it's got to be Rashawn Gary.
I think so, too.
I think it's got to be Rashawn Gary. And you're not trolling me this time. You're not just saying, yeah, I mean, like maybe Gary. And then I put his name in and you go, hey, bud, why don't you
try this?
Why don't you?
How about this instead? Oh, man.
Offensive tackles. They drafted Laramie Tunsil. Zach Stirrup's the other right tackle. That's pretty bad. It's Jonah Williams or Rashawn Gary, but I think it's got to be Rashawn Gary for how well he played this past year. I think it has to be. His talent level is just too damn good. So we'll go Rashawn Gary. I'm going to go Rashawn Gary here for the Miami Dolphins as number 13 instead of Christian Wilkins.
All right, the Falcons are on the clock at 14. They had some D-line needs at the time, including tackle and pass rusher. Corner needs at the time. They ended up taking Chris Lindstrom, which not a bad pick. Not a repeat kind of pick, in my opinion. They're a tough one for me, to be honest with you. They really are. I think, though, I'm going to go with Dexter Lawrence in this spot.
Beef. Dexter Lawrence next to Grady Jarrett would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
They balance each other out really well for what they do. So, for me, the Falcons help their defensive line that's had some struggles. And, Dexter Lawrence has been a really good player. Fifth-year option. The only guy from that Giants draft class, Daniel Jones, Dexter Lawrence, DeAndre Baker, the only one of the three that ends up getting his fifth-year option picked up.
Yep. All right, so that leaves Washington. Washington picked Dwayne Haskins. Who do I pick for them?
There's no quarterbacks.
Dude, okay, so I'm looking at like draft needs, and people are like, okay, offensive line might be a draft need. I'm looking at Washington's depth chart in 2019.
Morgan Moses.
It's Trent Williams, Morgan Moses, Brandon Scherf, Chase Roulier, Eric Flowers.
Great offensive line.
That's not bad.
Flowers, when he moved to guard there, was fine.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. They drafted Terry McLaurin in this draft, and I would just say they could desperately freaking use Terry McLaurin. I don't think we have any other wide receiver that would have been worth it, right?
No. You're taking Deontay Johnson at 15.
Marquise Brown. Deontay Johnson. Mecole Hardman.
No.
Hunter Renfrow.
Not at 15.
Come on, brother. You're a hater. All right. So,
I am. I guess I am.
Defensive side. They had John Allen. They had Deron Payne. They had Matt Ioannidis. They had Ryan Anderson. So they definitely could have used pass rush. This is a draft where they also took Montez Sweat.
Yep.
You took Josh Allen, didn't you? Josh Allen.
I did take Josh Allen. I put Josh Allen to the Packers at 12.
You did. I took Rashawn Gary. I mean, I could give him Montez Sweat here. It would make sense.
Yeah. He's been fine.
People were going to be weird because they're like, oh, it's way early for him because they got him at the back end of the first round.
Which they traded.
Yeah, they traded up to get him.
So they were aggressive to get him. I don't really see who else.
I think Montez Sweat's probably giving you the most bang for your buck with this roster the way that it is. Like, obviously, like in hindsight, you go like, okay, Morgan Moses and Trent Williams aren't on the team anymore, but at the time, they were. I think I still got to go Montez Sweat. I know Washington fans are going to hate me for it because it's boring as hell.
Yeah, it's not fun for the.
I'm going to go Montez Sweat.
It's not fun for the Commanders fans, but
they weren't even the Commanders at the time.
They weren't even the Commanders. So
you can't get mad at me. weren't even named the same thing.
All right, so the Panthers are on the clock. They took Brian Burns, great pick for the Panthers in this spot.
Fantastic pick.
They had needs at pass rusher, safety, offensive line. I'm going to take Jonah Williams here. I feel like that's pretty justified. They have offensive line needs. I mean,
who was their offensive line at the time?
Not good, I don't think, at all. I think they had a couple misses. Yeah, pull up that.
Taylor Moton.
Sweaty sack on the R-Lads again.
Taylor Moton, Greg Van Ruten.
Moton's good.
Matt Paradis, Trey Turner, Darrell Williams.
I mean, once again, if you're always in the belief of you're drafting for the next 3 years, not the next year, Jonah Williams was...
Could have been.
Could have been.
Could have been the pick.
I mean, he's not like a stud.
I don't know. I don't think there's anybody else glaring at this point.
That's my issue with this. That's my issue with this is that... And like... I know we're doing the time machine thing. I know Jonah Williams has had injury problems.
I guess I would say, depending on what you think of Marquise Brown, Marquise Brown would have been the missing piece with it because they have DJ Moore, But they have Torrey Smith to try to get some speed, Curtis Samuel, which is going to be their gadget slot guy in the middle. They have Jarius Wright, who's probably going to be another try to be a speed guy on the outside as well. Those guys didn't pan out. So Marquise Brown.
And Cam is still there, isn't he?
Cam is still there.
All right, I'll go with Hollywood because it gives Cam a shot. The talent, I'm fine with the talent. Jonah missed the first year. There's no pick I feel wildly over the hill with conviction about here that I'd be mad if I go the wrong direction. So I'll go Hollywood Brown.
I think that's the way to go. I think Hollywood Brown gives
just
him
got traded for a pick close to this. So it's not like he's been bad.
A little bit further down, but yeah.
Yeah, a couple of picks down.
All right, so we have the New York Giants up next at number 17. This is the spot where they took Dexter Lawrence. Lawrence, which was, I think, a really good pick for them. He's off the board. Ed Oliver's still there. Quinnen Williams is still there. I think they'd go Quinnen. Or is this?
I think so too.
I think this is right around where because maybe I have too much faith in Quinnen left. You've watched more snaps of him, but he's still so talented.
Quinnen's good. I mean, he's just not a star. And
New York, no. Okay, look, the Giants' defensive line at the time was B.J. Hill, beef. Okay, Dalvin Tomlinson, beef. This would have been perfect for Quinnen Williams, I think.
Yeah. And remember, they traded with the Jets that year to get Leonard Williams. He's not on the roster at the time here, so that doesn't factor in.
I'm going Quinnen Williams.
I think it's the right pick.
I'm not overlooking anybody bad, am I? I don't think so.
No,
I think we're all right. I mean, Christian Wilkins is still here. Who is good as well. I'm going Quinnen. I'm going Quinnen. I'm making it happen. Quinnen Williams on that defensive line, I think it's the right move.
So the Vikings took Garrett Bradbury here. Obviously a little early for a center. They had some offensive line needs, though. D-line needs, tight end. They wanted to get better in the trenches in this draft. That was no secret. And they took Garrett Bradbury, who's been fine. I'm a little conflicted on this one. I don't really think it's the stage of a run-it-back pick. Now,
no, it should not be.
No, it should not be. But I'm not taking Ed Oliver here.
Needs offensive line, defensive tackle, tight end.
This is a bad spot.
Elgton Jenkins would have been perfect.
Would have been perfect. Long gone.
Screwed yourself, my guy.
Long gone. Yeah.
Jonah Williams is still here. Would they pick Jonah? Or were they good at tackle?
I think they were in flux at tackle. So you can go with Jonah. A sick part of me wants to go with Deontay Johnson. I know they ended up getting Justin Jefferson, but we don't know that at the time, right? We don't know that.
Oh yeah. You can't. I don't think you can do that.
This draft got bad really fast. I just want to make that clear.
Well, it just gets different.
Yeah.
We're at 18 here. I mean, Vikings are just in a weird spot. Let me pull up the depth. People are going to be so sick of me saying, let me pull up the depth chart.
I don't really know what else.
Calvin Riley Reef
is even close at this spot.
Brian O'Neill.
I'm going to go with Jonah Williams. I like the value of tackle.
You can't pick Deontay. No, you can't pick Deontay. Because at the time they had Diggs, they had Thielen, and they had Laquan Treadwell.
Yeah, and they figured that thing out pretty well as well. I'm going to go with Jonah Williams.
Okay. I think that's probably a smart pick. Who's next? Who's after them? What is it?
You 19? Got the Titans at 19. They took Jeffrey Simmons.
Brother. Dude.
Great pick for them.
Yeah, but the Titans in this draft got Jeffrey Simmons and A.J. Brown. And both of those players went in the top 9 of a redraft.
Yep.
So they don't get either of them here. Tennessee Titans at the time, offensive line, receiver, tight end. Jenkins is off the board. Deontay Johnson's still there. Maybe it's Deontay? I think it might be Deontay.
I could see that one. Because you have to factor in you don't have A.J. Brown right now, and you didn't get him. He's gone.
Yeah, and they needed wide receiver, right?
Yep.
Wide receiver at the time for them was Corey Davis, Tajay Sharp, Adam Humphries.
And there was a lot of questions about Corey Davis at this point. of him not living up to the billing.
I think I got to go Deontay.
I think you do too.
Ed Oliver is here though, and Christian Wilkins are here. Would you take either of those interior guys, same position to Jeffrey Simmons? Would you take either of them over Deontay?
No, but it's not. There's not a big gap in arguing it. But I would, if it was for me, I'd go with Deontay. I don't think Wilkins or Oliver, as much as they're good players, move the needle that much. I know now their D-line's thin without Simmons and without one of those guys. That's the counter argument.
Yeah, but Simmons can play all three positions on their D-line. Ed Oliver can't.
No, you know what Ed Oliver is. Gap shooting, one gap, get up field. And I don't know if Vrabel rolls with that.
No, I'm going Christian Wilkins.
Okay.
I'm going Christian Wilkins. They need D-line, but Ed Oliver's too small for what they want to do. So Wilkins, who I think is a good player, I'm gonna have him going 19 instead of Jeffrey Simmons.
And he's played in a system that, obviously Flores isn't there anymore, but when he was playing in that system with New England, there's like a lot of rules. He wasn't always given the green light to just go. So when you look at his stats, you kind of are like, but he's not a stats guy.
No,
he's a true dirty work tape guy. All right, pick number 20, the Denver Broncos. Now, this is a spot they moved back to. The Pittsburgh Steelers were originally here. They took Noah Fant in this spot, who is no longer a Denver Bronco. He was included in the Russell Wilson trade with the Seahawks. Kind of an interesting career for Fant so far. I don't really think he's, by any stretch of the means, a bad player. It's just the bottom line is I don't think he ever turned into the superstar tight end far that we were hoping for, right?
It's fair to say that. He's a high upside athlete tight end.
Yes, exactly. And that's why they were willing, amongst them having a pretty deep pass-catching group, willing to include him in that trade. So not going to repeat that pick. Obviously, the Broncos were comfortable moving back at the time, getting out of that 10th overall selection when they still had needs at quarterback, linebacker, D-tackle. This is pretty tough. Now, once again, the talent board is kind of evaporated a little bit. Quinnen Williams and Christian Wilkins just went in the 2 of the last 3 picks. There's part of me that likes Ed Oliver here, with them having some needs on the defensive line.
Right.
Other than that, I don't really love any player in this spot, right? I mean, a lot of the top pass rushers are gone. We've gone very wide receiver heavy.
Right.
I think for me, it's going to be Ed Oliver, where you're getting a good but not great player in this situation. A player that's been more productive at his spot than Noah Fant at his. I'm not going to take one of the running backs. I know they could add to the offensive line here, but that's not really a great group either.
No, I think defensive tackle makes the most sense. I agree with you.
I think so too, and this is kind of now or never in a little bit in this spot. Right. So for the Broncos at 20, ultimately, nobody. They won the trade with the Steelers in this spot.
Well, yeah,
because of what the Steelers came up for, but they did take them out of position.
Devin Bush did look good. I don't want to totally say that Devin Bush
not writing him off, but
never going to be good again. But he needs to step it up for sure. I think Ed Oliver makes sense here.
All right, Ed Oliver for the Broncos. That was a tough one. I had to really talk around it to kind of look at it and go.
That's the best part of this exercise is people just listening to us
talk around each
talk
pick,
around talk around
about
it. Green Bay Packers at 21. They took Darnell Savage, which he was a good pick for them.
Yep.
Darnell Savage has been great. He is still on the board, so this could be an option. The other player that I'm weighing is giving them Deontay Johnson. Because at the time, obviously, we've been talking about wide receiver going to Green Bay for years. They have Allen Lazard. They have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, but they were lower on the depth chart. Equanimeous St. Brown was still on this team. Geronimo Allison was still on this team. Deontay Johnson getting to be the guy on the deep side of Aaron Rodgers passes. I mean, it'd be, to me, phenomenal. I think that would be great. So I don't really even need to waste too much time with this one. I like the idea of it so much. Again, Darnell Savage has been a good pick for them, but getting Deontay Johnson with Aaron Rodgers is something that it's a reason why we do these exercises, to have some fun and some imagination like that. So I'll go Deontay here at 21.
I like the fit a lot. I think it makes a ton of sense. All right, the Eagles are on the clock now. There's some good players available at a spot they don't need in center. So they have Jason Kelsey at this point, so that's not even under consideration. And then it's a whole lot of, you kind of shrug your shoulders a little bit here. I mean, I'll be honest with you folks. We're at the point of the draft where it's Hunter Renfrow might make it into the first round.
Oh, he's making it. We're getting him in here. We're getting him in. It's not going to be here. Don't pick him here.
He's not going here. No, he's not going here. I really don't want to take a running back here. I'm actually going to take Darnell Savage in this spot.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think when you look at it, the safety spot.
They've needed safety, right?
They needed a safety at this spot, and he was a good pick in this draft and a valuable player in the grand scheme of it. And
they did have Malcolm.
Yeah, but they needed somebody next to him at the time, didn't they? Wasn't that the issue?
Rodney McLeod was still there.
Yeah.
Andrew Sendeo was there.
Oh, no good. So
yeah, you can take Darnell.
I'm going to take Darnell Savage.
Right.
That's a rock solid pick for the Eagles that late.
No, it works. I think that totally works. Houston Texans at 23. They took Titus Howard. Fucking yikes.
Big yikes. That was a bad pick.
Giant yikes. I mean, their O-line was bad. Is there anybody? I mean, Juwan Taylor is still here, right? So,
yeah, but is he really?
I think he's good.
Oh man, he's okay. You're
He's
right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna insult because there's not a lot here.
he's okay.
Can they take one of the centers? Like we still have, or even a Chris Lindstrom?
Is Lindstrom better than Juwan Taylor?
I mean, it's a matter of also what you need. You're right.
Eric McCoy.
Eric McCoy and Bradbury are both still there. That was kind of what I was thinking.
Who's their center at the time? Nick Martin.
Yeah.
I might just pick Eric McCoy for the versatility.
I would like that.
Because you could play him at guard or you could play him at center, right? So,
and we know how much they kind of moved Titus Howard around a little bit.
Outside the box picks. Byron Murphy's here. We haven't talked about him a lot. Oh, TJ Hawkinson we haven't picked.
Who's made a Pro Bowl of this group. It's just the whole tight end thing. But I'm at this point in the draft totally fine with it.
Ryan Griffin and Jordan Thomas.
Legends.
Of what? The Hidden Temple, maybe?
No, not even that.
Not of the league.
Hawk's a great pick here.
I think I'm going TJ Hawkinson.
Hawk's a great pick in this spot.
I think I got to go Hawkinson. Makes the most sense in my opinion.
All right, so the Raiders in this spot took Josh Jacobs, who they did not pick up his fifth-year option. They did have a need at running back at this time. Everybody kind of knew that pick was coming in this spot, which is interesting. Linebacker, pass rusher. Got to scroll up and make sure what we did. So we had DK Metcalf at 4.
We did.
Which was, I made that pick. I fully stand by it.
Yeah, you have no one to blame but yourself.
No, I can't crawl out of this one and point the finger for once at you. I tried. I slowly tried. I was like, oh, well, thanks. Thanks to you. I have to do this. Oh, brother. This is pretty brutal right here, if I'm being tough. Am I going to take Hunter Renfrow to the Raiders here? You know, and let me be fair. Josh Jacobs, first-round running back, don't like that. But Josh Jacobs is just, they didn't pick up the fifth-year option because I think his body is really beat up. I don't think he's been a bad player on the field at all.
No, I think Josh Jacobs has been fine. He's been fine.
He's been fine. It just goes back to, I don't want to take a running back. That doesn't really change your offense entirely in the first round of the draft.
You can't take Hunter Renfrow here.
I'm not taking Hunter Renfrow here.
No,
I want to.
No.
But I won't.
You can't. Let's look at the Raiders at the time. They were Oakland at the time, right? Okay, well, just kidding.
I'm looking at the offensive linemen left on the board here. Now, did they have Rodney Hudson at the time?
Ooh, I'm looking it up. Hold on. I'm sure they did. Yeah, they did have Rodney Hudson at the time.
Son of a...
And they had next to him, Colton Miller was playing left guard at the time because they had Trenton Brown, but that didn't last. They also had Brandon Parker at right tackle. And they had Gabe Jackson, who's decent at right guard.
So this was Rodney's last year on the Raiders.
I thought he was traded after that.
I'm going to take Garrett Bradbury in this spot because I don't draft in one-year windows.
Hold on, though.
If you got a player here that moves the needle, please enlighten me.
Their corners are Garyon Conley, Nevin Lawson, and Nick Nelson.
So we're thinking Byron Murphy?
Or Sean Murphy-Bunting, who I think Murphy-Bunting is a good corner. I really do.
That's a really good call.
He's got a lot of slot outside versatility for you. He can play a lot of different things. I'd be picking Sean Murphy-Bunting here if I were you.
That's a good call. That's a really good call. I have no problem with that.
All right.
He was kind of a slow burn too, right? Didn't it take like a year for I mean, not slow burn.
A little bit, but
he wasn't a day one star, which is fine. We knew that with him coming out of college.
He wasn't a day one star, but the thing was that they also like asked him to do a shit ton his first year. Like they asked him to play slot and on the outside. So he has it's taken him a while to get to this point, but
I like that pick. Great suggestion.
Well, you're welcome.
That's why you're here. That's why you make the big bucks.
Yeah, that's true. Big bucks. 5 cents an hour. All right, so the Baltimore Ravens traded up to number 25 with the Philadelphia Eagles. They took Marquise Brown, which they needed. Good God. Jordan Lastly, Chris Moore, Quincy Adebayo, Willie Snead, Jaleel Scott.
Pretty wild group.
I'll pick freaking Hunter Renfrow for the No, I'm not going to do it, but I could. They got Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards. All right, don't need a running back. Tight end rooms, Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, Nick Boyle. They got that figured out. Brandon Carr, Marlon Humphrey, Earl Thomas, LOL. Tony Jefferson, Chuck Clark's there. Jimmy Smith. Man. Oh, they need a true linebacker. Do we take Montez Sweat? Is he already off the board, right?
He's gone. Long gone.
He's long.
I looked like 40 times. Every pick, I was like, I can take Montez Sweat here. Nope.
Taylor Rapp is here. Ooh, Juan Thornhill.
That's a good one.
To replace Earl Thomas when he goes nuts.
Not a bad idea. One of the better players probably left on the board, especially at safety, sure. DB in general. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, one of the best players left on the board.
Is he in this class?
Oh, yeah, baby. He went in the 4th round in this draft.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. Who's the nickel corner here? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's the pick.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a Raven
he's a good player.
Through and through.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
I like it. Okay.
I don't think it really needed him, but who cares? I'm just shocked that he's still on the board.
So Washington.
This is the Montez Sweat pick.
He's gone.
He is gone. They picked Montez Sweat, though. I gave them Montez Sweat. So
I want to throw a name at you and just see how you react.
I hate it already, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to jump out of your seat.
Yeah, Simon Taki. Love it. Yeah.
David Long, the linebacker on the Titans.
You'd pick him over Devin Bush?
Oh, yeah, he's been a better player. I think so. I know it's probably like a take.
Oh, Cole Holcomb's also in this class.
There's some weird players like as options here.
Oh, man. I mean, listen, brother.
I don't love this situation.
It's your pick.
Yeah, I know. I could also go back to the center interior line Did we ever have Lindstrom come off the board? No, we didn't.
No, we did not. Do we pick Daniel Jones here?
No.
Do you hate Daniel Jones that much?
Oh, no. I'm just not putting him in the 1st round.
Brother.
You can.
Do you know who their starting quarterback is at this point?
No, I know. It got really bad there.
It's Cole McCoy, my guy.
Well,
it's
pretty
Cole
quickly.
McCoy.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew?
I would take Gardner Minshew before I would take Daniel Jones.
Ooh!
What? That's not even a take.
There it is. That's the headline of the podcast right there. So Giants fans get to listen.
There it is. Gardner Minshew.
Yes.
Pick 26. Yes. I did it.
He did it. It's in the sheet. It's in the sheet, folks.
I'm backing you up, Gardner. You should be starting somewhere.
Colt McCoy. You made us do this.
Yeah, you did this.
All right,
Not me.
Oakland Raiders again. So we had them at 24. You picked Sean Murphy Bunting. You took Darnell Savage off the board, which is a shame because they picked John Abram, and Lord knows I'm not taking John Abram.
No, that didn't work. Safe to say.
Hunter Renfrow again? We're just going to bring up Hunter Renfrow.
Just keep saying it. It'll happen eventually. You could just take an offensive line. You can go back to your Jawan Taylor situation here.
Yeah, because you need tackle, right?
The Brandon Parker thing hasn't really worked out.
No, right. And I've got more faith in Jawan Taylor than who were their linebackers. Hold on, because there's a linebacker that I like.
Okay.
That is still around. Their linebackers at the time were Brandon Marshall, Vontez Burfict, Jason Kabinda, Tahir Whitehead, Marquell Lee. Oh, man. How do we feel about Dre Greenlaw? I like Greenlaw a lot.
It's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I like Greenlaw a lot. And Greenlaw, at this point in time, could play Sam and the speed linebacker spot. No, he can't. I don't think he can.
No, I think you found value, though, in a class that we've lost all of it really quickly. I'm not going to argue that pick. Greenlaw went 148 in this draft.
Dude,
Fifth
I know,
round.
way late.
Yeah.
Way late in this draft.
Good for him, man. He's really carved out a wildly exceeded expectations in that spot.
Oh, wait. Hold up.
Oh, boy. Did you find somebody we totally missed?
Dude, Juan Thornhill's still here.
Yeah, he's still there.
Dude, Juan Thornhill, for sure. Absolutely. They picked a safety. Now they actually get to pick a better one. Juan Thornhill is awesome. I like Juan Thornhill a lot. He could have gone earlier in this draft, 100%. All
right, so the Chargers are on the clock at 28. They had a couple of needs in this draft. Tackle on both sides of the ball. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle.
Jerry Tillery.
Jerry Tillery was their selection.
Bummer.
It hasn't really worked out for Tillery, unfortunately, there. He hasn't been a first-round caliber player. I'm going to do it here because I actually really believe in this pick, especially over what they did.
I think we've started like 7 of the last 10 picks with, I'm going to do it here.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Hunter Renfrow.
Wow, there it is.
I want to look over everything.
All right.
Oh, man. There's part of me that wants to take Byron Murphy instead.
What's Byron Murphy done?
He hasn't been...
Hunter Renfrow, dude.
That's the thing. You could hold your hat on the fact that Renfrow has been productive. Really productive.
It's hilarious for me, but go off. Love it.
I mean, is it... for people that think I'm trolling, I'm really not. I think this draft fell off a cliff.
Where is Hunter Renfrow's production versus the rest of the wide receivers? Let's see.
It's right there. Shockingly.
Let's see.
It's right there.
Hunter Renfrow, over 2,000 yards,
2,300 yards,
15 touchdowns. So he is fifth. No, he is sixth in touchdowns. He is seventh in yards, and he is fourth in catches.
It's a terrible process taking an unathletic slot receiver in the first round. It's a horrific process.
But it makes for a good podcast.
But it makes for a great June podcast about the draft.
Hell yeah, brother.
I mean,
if you got a problem with this, at Connor J. Rogers on Twitter, at Tampa Bay Trey on Twitter.
Just destroy my life. We're having fun here. Boy, if they tweet out this just in a graphic, Trevor.
Oh, dude. We're going to get
toast. Hopefully it just says NFL Stock Exchange and not at Tampa Bay Trey at Connor J. Rogers.
No, I won't let him do it. I will not let him do it. Seattle Seahawks number 29. They picked LJ Collier. Their offensive line, I think at this point, was abysmal because it was basically every year. Their interior offensive line was Justin Britt, Mike Iupati, DJ Fluker, Jermaine Ifedi, and Dwayne Brown. They had George Fant at this point, too. Ethan Posick backing him up. I still think they need offensive line, though.
Fant never became Fant never really became the player he is there.
No, he did not. He absolutely did not.
So that's,
I think I'm going to go Aaron McCoy. Here.
I have no argument with that.
Eric McCoy, good, versatile center, interior offensive lineman.
I feel like you almost took him like 7 times.
Yeah, he's always there. You know, he's a comfort. He's comfort food, like cereal. Boom! See?
Comfort food.
Full circle on the pod. I mean, we've got like 5 minutes left that we have to do, but that would have been a good place to end it.
Did Chris Lindstrom's 5th-year option get picked up, is what I'm wondering. Not that that's impacting what I think of him.
Sounds like it is.
It might be.
Sounds like it is.
Either way, for the Giants here, that's who I'm taking.
Nah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
The Giants, obviously, their offensive line fell apart in these coming years.
I think he played best this past year. So
yeah, this would be my pick here for the Giants. Pretty easy one. And them and the Raiders ended up having really good replacement drafts, as you would expect in this spot. The Giants walked out of this draft with Chris Lindstrom, Quinnen Williams, because Dexter Lawrence was gone, and Deebo Samuel.
Sick.
I mean, it's sick.
Absolutely sick. We had the Atlanta Falcons, who are back up at number 31. They took Chris Lindstrom in real life at number 14. Yep. We had them take Dexter Lawrence instead. So there's still an offensive tackle spot that they really need to fill. I think this is where I'm picking Juwan Taylor. I'm not picking Caleb Gary.
You've been trying to get Juwan Taylor into this first round, like I was trying to do with Renfro.
Does he suck? Am I like that off
No.
Taylor,
I'm kind of being a troll.
PFF hate him? Let's check.
Well,
I mean, PFF kind of hates him. Damn. Yo, 60 grade, 56 grade, 63 grade. So, I mean,
but ironically,
it's not great.
His weighted value from Pro Football Reference is in a first round range of this draft.
In the toilet. So they do need a right tackle, and he could play right tackle.
Sure, certainly.
I'm convincing myself of this here. Who else? Byron Murphy is still here. Do they need corner real bad? They have Isaiah Oliver, Desmond Trufant. Okay, so like at the time, no. Not the worst. Well, I mean, Isaiah Oliver has been great, but Juan Thornhill, gone. Sean Murphy Bunting, gone. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, gone.
I mean, we dug pretty deep here.
We did. Oh, Nasir Adderley's in this draft. I like Nasir.
Yeah, he's been okay. He's had his struggles.
Yeah, but
for sure.
Hurt. He was hurt, wasn't he?
I just know he's been...
Ooh, Mike Edwards was also picked in this draft. The Bucs safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's been good. Wait. Brother, Amani Hooker's in this draft.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yeah, he was an honorable mention on the under 25 teams.
He was.
Yeah, good player.
I'm
really
getting him
good
in.
player.
I'm getting him
good
in
find.
here. I'm getting him in here.
Good find.
Have to get him in here.
And that leads us to the Patriots.
Amani Hooker at 31.
At 32, who took N'Keal Harry, and we know how that's gone.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one didn't work out for them. So they would definitely like a replacement pick here.
Yeah.
The problem is, so New England at the time, coming off a Super Bowl, D-line, tight end, wide receiver, I actually would take Noah Fant here. Now, you are betting on upside because he has not become the player you're hoping for, but he's still really young, Noah Fant. Like, that wasn't like a throwaway in that trade. He's 24 years old.
You're higher on him than me, but...
Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, considering the tight ends around the league, he's not great, but he's hovered around 700 yards.
The Patriots wouldn't have to put like $80 million into 2 tight ends 2 years from now. So
that's what I'm thinking, and I think their system really fits well for him. So he's hovered around 700 yards in Denver, both of 2020 and 2021. I think he can be a 800 receiving yard tight end. I'm going to take Noah Fant for New England. I think that's a great fit. And once again, the talent kind of fell apart on us.
All right, there we go.
There's a little wonky.
There's the 2019 redraft.
I hope people have fun with us on it.
We're going to get roasted.
Yeah, we're gonna get demolished.
All right, who's Daniel Jones wasn't picked.
No.
David Montgomery not picked.
Josh Jacobs not picked.
Josh Jacobs, Caleb McGarry, Devin Singletary, Miles Sanders, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, the average skill players. David Montgomery's a really good player. If he played, it's the running back in the first round thing I didn't really want to do.
Juwan Taylor, despite my best efforts. Cole Holcomb.
Dalton Reisner's a pretty good player.
Yeah, I like Dalton Reisner. Nate Davis. Devin Bush didn't go in this. Damn shame. Andrew Van Ginkel. No. Tony Pollard. These are guys that we left on the board.
Yeah,
Byron Murphy.
Taylor Rapp.
I would have liked to get Byron Murphy and Drake Greenlaw in there. But we didn't. Darius Slayton. Taylor Rapp. Bobby Okereke. I don't know how he likes to say
Okereke. Okereke.
Right, but it was Okereke, and then like somebody told me it was different.
No.
Somebody told me it was like Okereke, and I don't know if they're trolling me or not, but like
maybe I'm wrong. Here I am confidently going Okereke, and it's
maybe
like, no, you're actually an
on
idiot.
my own podcast. I don't know.
Oh, we screwed up really bad.
Oh no, who'd we leave?
I deserve the dunkings that I'm about to get.
Who'd we leave?
I mean, we didn't screw up real bad. We didn't have Dawson Knox. I would have drafted Dawson Knox in the first round. What?
Listen, brother. I like Dawson Knox, but you acted like we left a 2-time All-Pro off the
Mafia
board.
The Mafia will let us know.
I like Dawson Knox. I was a massive Dawson Knox
That's why
fan
I said
going into the draft. Okay, hold on. Wait. You freaked me the F out, dude.
I mean, because some fan bases would be like, whatever. Bills fans, justifiably so, are going to be pissed that Dawson Knox wasn't in this.
Dawson Knox is good. Okay? I want to make that extremely clear.
Yeah.
388 yards, 288 yards, 587.
Yeah, you're right. In the pass happiest team in the league.
Right, to Josh Allen. I like Dawson Knox a lot.
All right, I rang the panic alarm a little early.
My God, dude. Out here making me think we've got to re-record the whole podcast. Giant morons.
Oh, that was good. You were really nervous. Really nervous.
Really freaking nervous because this exercise is hard.
It's really tough.
You don't want to forget anybody, but it's also a blast. This is a lot of fun. Obviously, redrafting here.
I'm still going down the list, wondering if we missed any like breakout players.
Oh yeah, I mean, future Hall of Famer is going to be like right in front of us.
No,
dude, Mitch Wishnowsky was sitting right here, and we didn't even consider him.
We did good. I just went through it again.
Okay.
Ja'Kai Polite just missed the cut on the redraft.
Stop.
I mean, it's double pain. Florida for you, Jets for me.
Just stop.
We liked him. Tough times. We're good at self-deprecating on the pod.
That was a tough scene. All right, folks. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. We had a lot of fun doing our redraft there. We're going to be doing redrafts of at least the 2020 NFL draft. I don't know if we're going to do 2021 because it's early.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have fun and do like 2018, I guess, if you guys want us to do that as well. But if you like the format, fantastic.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, if you want us to change anything about how we do it, how you think it might be better, more entertaining one way or the other, we are all ears for it. We're here to make this podcast as fun as possible. Hopefully you guys have seen that. But next episode, Thursday, Summer Scouting. It is Chapter 2, Episode 2 of Summer Scouting, running back position. It's not going to be as deep with the background knowledge as the quarterback one was, because quarterback, we wanted to heavily get into about 7, 8, 9 guys. Running backs a little bit different. There's a lot of really good running backs around the country. So we want to try to intro as many guys and their skill sets as possible to you to make sure that you've got a good list of players to know for college football season. But I'm excited to get back to summer scouting because I thought the last Thursday's episode was back to basics, back to what we know we love to do. And it was a lot of fun to get it kicked off.
It was awesome, man. I mean, it's definitely a different exercise because there's a lot of situations that are truly still like up for opinion. There were ones that weren't. Like, we knew the Niners would take Nick Bosa again. We knew Arizona would take Kyler Murray again. But there's ones where we do this, we have the conversations. You and I don't always even agree, and that makes fun when the comments won't agree. Fun. Yep. It really is a lot of fun. And then, summer scouting is going to be awesome because I think we have a guy that's going to really destroy the brains of the, like, don't take running backs early in this class this year because he's that special. He's that special. So I'm looking forward to getting into this group. I'm looking forward to a lot of the mock draft Mondays we have in store because I think they get more increasingly fun as they go along, as they get really crazy. And dude, before you know it, you're gonna be in New York here, dude. So we're gonna have a good old time.
I know we're gonna have a good ass time. It's gonna start on Thursday with episode 2 of Summer Scouting. I'm Trevor Sikkema. That's Connor Rogers. Thanks for listening to the NFL Stock Exchange. We'll see you on Thursday.